Oh, Mickey, you know, money, can't you understand? You take me by the heart and you take me by the. Mickey 17. That's because Ben
Wow.
couldn't think of an intro. And I remembered I was watching Invincible
Hi guys.
and they played the that's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Morbid. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Take the floor, Ben. I've got nothing. I can't follow that up.
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17.
Um, I've never seen a movie like Mickey 17, and that's exactly what I texted Chad right when I saw it.
Yeah. I
There's a lot
told
of
the guys
movies that
that
I've
I
seen
liked
this
it and I
year.
think they're gonna hate it.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's so many movies that I've seen that I could easily say this is probably what they were inspired from, and
Yeah.
this is what I would compare it to. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck. I don't know. They I don't know who thought of Mickey, but they were like a crazy person, insane person, but creative person. Because
I'm gonna compare
prop
it to like a couple
props.
other movies, but not like in that it's like that. It's like this is like an element of it that kind of fit. And like
Mhm.
you're gonna think about like these two movies are not even close to the same thing. But it's like this is kind of a thing that reminds me. Yeah. I was trying to think of something, but it was like, yeah, this is really original. It's from the director of Parasite. I haven't seen Parasite. I know it won Best Picture, and I do want to watch it, but new director for a movie from the director of Parasite, starring Robert Pattinson. I was like, I'm in. Let's go. Let's jump on
Mhm.
this. I really liked the movie, and the movie to me really rests on the shoulders of Robert Pattinson and his performance and his character's journey. We're gonna talk later about how I think some other things in this movie, most of the things, other things in this movie are pretty shaky at best,
Yep.
in particular Mark Ruffalo's character. But I was so invested in Robert Pattinson's journey and his performance of Mickey and him discovering himself and finding value in himself through other people and a bunch of other things that I thought that I was so invested in that I was able to have a very good time with this movie and get a lot out of it. I think that it's such an interesting like metaphor of someone who like doesn't feel like they matter and is treated like they don't matter. They're a clone. They can be printed out again. All right, go die, go literally be a test subject. This is guy is one step above a random like animal we can do tests on. Except vegans are against that. They're like that's cruelty to animals. We're like, well, we can be cruel to this guy because he's not a person. He's just gonna come back a million times. We don't even have to feed him as much because he's expendable. I thought that worked really well, and there were so many great scenes and great moments where you really feel like him and his struggle with that, how he wants to value and like where the reason he survives is those aliens save him and he gets upset. He's like, I'm perfectly good enough to eat. I'm good enough food to eat, which is a funny thing to say, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not even good enough for these alien like parasites to eat me. What the fuck, bro? Um, I think that's amazing. I think it's also amazing when you get to Mickey 18 and you have his clone of being like such a great literal picture of one, not even recognizing yourself, recognizing parts of yourself, and two, hating parts of yourself and wanting to kill parts of yourself and just purge them from your being, but it's still a part of you and finding a way to love and care for yourself through that, through the whole movie. I just thought it was obviously Pattinson gives a great performance. I think those were some really great ideas. I think it's done so well and it made me feel a lot of things. So while we can talk about, I'm sure Ben does because he loves to talk shit, a lot of other stuff in the movie that there's this was certainly was not as inspired as all that, but I think that on its own is similar to I'm going to compare it to a movie. The movie I'm going to compare it to is Split in 2017, which is a more well-rounded movie, but is really anchored by James McAvoy just giving this amazing performance, a very different kind of performance. But I thought this, yeah, I thought Robert Pattinson was amazing in this movie, and he's really what made it good and what made it good for me. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the split comparison. I was gonna say I think it showed the range that Robert Pattinson has when you can play when you can play different characters, but you're the same actor in the same movie, and the audience can tell exactly who you are at that moment. I mean that's just props to you, you know. And I mean James McAvoy definitely played that in Split. I did not look at um, the duplicates as the same person. I didn't even look at it as Robert Pattinson the entire movie. I looked at it as Mickey 17 and Mickey 18, and that's exactly what the movie wanted me to look at it. And I mean, I couldn't. There was a couple times in the movie where I'm like, okay, how are they filming this right now? Because it's not even like I can't even find anything wrong with it. Like Robert Pattinson is on the screen at the same time, and it looks like that he's on the screen at the same time. You know,
Yeah,
like that's it. The
it's
the way that
beautifully
they shot
shot.
this,
Yeah.
CGI, everything perfect. You know, no problems with that.
Yeah, I don't know how they how they built those sets in such a way, like in the cages, obviously the sexy scene, um, a few of the scenes were like he's fighting Glenn from The Walking Dead, and going on, it's like wow, like they are just fully on having not like what you would call an action sequence, but like a scuffle, and
Hmm.
it really looks like both of them. It was really cleverly shot, I thought. Yeah,
There's a couple movies that you could tell they were shot in a certain way because it's the same character. The most recent one that comes to mind is one that we talked about recently, The Monkey, that was shot in a way where most of the time they weren't on the screen at the same time because it was played by the same character and it was just easier, you know?
yeah.
They didn't care. They said, we're going to shoot this movie. We're going to shoot this movie how it's supposed to be shot. And we're going to make it look like it's duplicates and not editing, you know? I don't know how they did it, but that CGI team needs a raise because
Oh my
that was
God.
great, you know?
For the record, we didn't
The
record an episode of The Monkey. We could do that. I don't know.
of
People say
did we not?
no. We don't have one. I don't
We
think
don't
so.
have one, I guess. Anyway, it's the monkey's the monkey. It is what it is.
You know what the
Um,
monkey is.
you know what the monkey is,
Okay, never
but
mind.
it
But yeah, the
yeah.
other thing that I thought worked really well, and we're gonna start being mean to the movie in a second, I promise, was I liked the design of the aliens a lot because the movie's message is obviously like, well, one of the messages is that like this is like an indigenous group to this planet, and we're kind of robbing them of their area, and we're killing them, and they've done nothing to us. What is going on? Why are we just entitled? Again, played out, been done, it's been done. But what works really well about it is the design of the aliens is like does a perfect job of you're kind of like when they stab the like little baby alien put on the hook, you're like, no, stop, don't do that, cut that out. But at the same time, like they're like built in a way that are still like scary and unsettling and push you on the edge of your seat. So you can kind of understand why certain people in the show be like, those are fucking aliens and they're gonna fucking kill us and they look scary and they're gonna eat our faces. Even from the first scene of the movie, that alien gets over Mickey's like he's fucking dead. You walk up to that alien and that alien is threatening Mickey with his brain and eyes exploding and the sound is scary and you feel it and the look is rough. But at the same time, you're like, wait, this is where they were. They're completely peaceful. These guys have just pulled up and started killing people, according to them. So I thought the design of the aliens was done really well as well and communicated the good
Hmm.
message in the movie.
I
But
I like that they waited until the end of the movie to tell us that the aliens can't really do shit, you know?
yeah,
Because like the whole movie, I'm like, okay, well, like they're about to have like war, like two different species about
yeah,
to like have war, you know?
yeah. The aliens probably couldn't do a lot more than bust through the ship. Like that's all they were going to be
Yeah.
able to do. But yeah, this movie, apart from and all that stuff is great, and I had an overall good experience because how amazing that stuff is. And that stuff is so amazing. It's like super high quality. It's like really good quality stuff, but the rest of the movie isn't as good. And the first thing I want to talk about is the character of Mark Ruffalo. Maybe, and he's primarily used as like a humor character, and then like he's kind of the villain as well. But I just didn't think it was fun, and maybe I would have thought it was funny in a different context. Again, I was really invested in Mickey's journey, and that was the only thing I really cared about. So when he's kind of doing stupid shit, like doing a weird accent of I wonder who, and doing shit about like he's like this the girl wants to pray and he's like oh I love prayer and then goes like into like a crazy like hymn like I understand the joke but I'm not first of all I don't know if I would really like it anyway because I think that the writers are overplaying their hand a little bit and two I'm really invested in Mickey's journey. He's the one I care about. I don't really care about the social commentary you're trying to give with Mark Ruffalo and doing the over the top
That's fair.
thing. It's like
Yeah. That's fair. I didn't mind it that much. I was kind of laughing at how cringe it was, you know? There, there's a couple times, um, there's a couple movies where I watch where I'm like, literally, like, I can't watch this. This is like too, too cringe for me. I literally can't watch this. I didn't really have that in Mickey 17. It was more of, okay, this is supposed to be cringe.
Yeah,
But, you know, just like Thor Love and Thunder, I can either choose to like not like it or I could choose to laugh. And Mickey 17, I was able to laugh at it. Um I like I like that they were giving us someone to root for or to root against and then to root for. Um they subtly did that. I thought Mark Ruffalo, this is probably one of his better performances in terms of
yeah,
not a lot. Mark
yeah.
Ruffalo is not a good actor. I'm sorry, Mark.
Whoa!
I'm sorry, Mark.
What?
I'm sorry,
What? Someone's never seen Now You See Me.
Chad. I love Now You See Me, but come on, Chad. Come on. I thought he did exactly what he
Damn,
wanted to do.
not a good actor.
I mean, come on. There's only a couple where I'm like, Mark actually carried his part. You know, this is one of the movies where he did exactly what he wanted the character to be, and he presented it that way. And I mean, it was funny to me. I was laughing anytime his character was on the screen. I was laughing because you could tell he was stupid. You could tell he didn't know what he was doing, and I mean,
You're
he
burning
just
too
kept
many
doing it.
calories by fucking each other, so we're gonna cut that out.
Yeah, so there's some movies where I can't get over it, but I was able to get over the cringiness and just start laughing. You know, the wife too, similar boat. Yeah, I was able to laugh at her too. I mean, it was just funny. She was just making sauce, terrible sauce. You could tell the sauce was terrible.
Oh my
It was a
god.
stupid thing. They're just like, all right, what's the worst thing we can make, um, like a politician's wife do as a hobby? Make random sauce? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. I mean,
Take the
and
tail off a
yeah,
random alien, start chopping it up.
yeah. That again, it was stupid, but I was able to look past it and just like, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't take away from the movie, and that's why I didn't have, I guess, as big of a problem with it as you did. It didn't really
I didn't
take
really have
away
a problem
from.
with it.
Mm,
And all things considered, I was
yeah,
thinking about a few things that I had like problems with in the movie. And unlike like we talked about Nosferatu, where I thought it was okay and then walked out of it and like liked the movie less the more I thought about it. The more I'm thinking about this movie coming out of it, I'm liking it more the more I'm thinking about it. Because like, no, that makes sense. That follows. The kind of explanation for what the Expendables are doing, that's good enough. That seems
yeah.
reasonable. Technology's too far ahead. No one can agree on anything anymore. So of course it's probably outlawed. So sure, I can buy that. These are the rules. These are why. Okay, I'm up for it.
There was,
That's
yeah. It's usually, you know, it's a solid movie when there's not a lot that you can. Again, my biggest critique in any movie is if I could think of a better way to do it, then come on, I'm blah, dude. Like I'm an athletic director, you know. If I could think of a better way to fucking do it, there's a problem, you know.
yeah,
I couldn't think of a better way to do this movie. I thought this movie was perfect for what it wanted to be. And then there was parts you could look past, you know, the parts like you said that just made sense. You could
yeah,
probably do it a little bit different way. I mean, you didn't have to add her making sauce in the movie.
yeah.
The
But
stuff
it's
where he goes on
satire.
about,
It's meant to be
yeah,
funny. It's like, yeah,
exactly. I was able to laugh at it, just like Thor: Love and Thunder was a not a good movie, but I was able to laugh at the goats because I mean, if you don't laugh at it, it's bad, you know. So if
yeah,
you can laugh, it's better. I was able to laugh at this movie, so
yeah.
when it wanted me to laugh, I
When a
really
comedy isn't
liked.
funny, it is a
Yeah,
brutal watch.
yeah.
I'll say I like the movie a lot, and it's probably because again Pattinson's performance is so good. I didn't really care for Glenn's character. He also plays Mark Grayson in Invincible, the guy who like can talk himself into
Oh yeah,
anything. He was fine, I guess, but it's something I've seen before. I didn't really like the girlfriend character. I really didn't like the other girl, the bisexual girl character who like that one girl that died and then like was trying to get with Mickey. I didn't care for that. I
Yeah.
didn't care for what that other girlfriend said, and I wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
super interested in anything that wasn't Mickey. I'll say that. I was
Uh-huh.
the story to me was like if it wasn't about Mickey, it was kind of tedious. So I was like, I want to go back to Mickey and see what he's doing and do about that.
Yeah.
Whenever it wasn't about him, it was like about like the scene where they're talking, like, holy, I do not care. Holy, I didn't ask. What the fuck is going on with Mickey 17 and 18
Yeah.
right now? So
No,
yeah,
it
that
I like that they mentioned that they were like, this is what they want to do. This is not what we're gonna do. And what I mean by that is right when they figure out that there's multiples, I like where their head was because that's exactly what 80% of people in the world would do. You know, if you're the girl and all of a sudden there's two of your boyfriend, 80% of people in the world would try to have a threesome. You know,
I gotta say I didn't really like that. Like if there was like two, well maybe if there was two of my girlfriend, I would be kind of freaked out, and I would not be trying to have a threesome. I'd be like, what's
are
going
you
on?
kidding
But
me? I'd
it
have a
might be weird.
threesome in a heartbeat.
Okay, I'm weird. That's fine.
Um,
I'm just gonna cut
and
this part
then
out.
you better not send it to Cruz. Cruz. I know you agree with me,
Cruz
and
is
I like that
single.
the he'd still agree with me though. He'd still
If you
agree with
put
me.
two random like hot women in front of Cruz, of course he's gonna try and have a threesome.
Cruz agrees with me. That's the point. Anyway,
That's
I
bad.
like that.
That's means you're wrong.
No, Cruz is attractive. He just doesn't know movies. But this isn't about a
Exactly.
movie.
Fuck you.
It's
Okay.
this isn't about a movie. This is a scenario. Boom, roasted. Anyway,
Fuck you.
I like that the other girl. A lot of people would do the same thing too. If you like somebody, that's in a relationship. Hold on.
I
Let
know
me
what you're
get
saying.
let,
Yeah.
let me get through this. If you like someone who's in a relationship, you find out that there's two of them. You're not supposed to have two of them, and the girl that you don't like who's in a relationship with him is like they're not supposed to have it, but she knows. You're like, hey, I won't tell anybody. If you give me Mickey 17 and you keep Mickey 18, I know some people who would 100% do that. You know,
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
and
I do too.
and I
I will agree
I
with
like
you.
I like the fact that they put that in there. They're like, this is what would actually happen. This is not the direction we're gonna take, and I'm glad they didn't take that direction because I don't think it would have been a good movie. And they quickly said, "Oh, now they're trying to kill each other. Now they're trying to stop each other from killing the politician." All right. They quickly said, we're not going in that direction. And then Mickey 17 was like, I'm not having a threesome with me and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
They mentioned this probably would happen if this was real, but they didn't go in that direction. And I think
Yeah.
not going in that direction saved it from being a really weird, not good movie, you know?
Yeah, that's true. If they leaned hard into that, that would have been rough. I guess
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
But
Yeah,
but they had to mention it. They had to mention it. And I understand why they had to mention it because I feel like a lot of people would do that in their shoes. And yeah, I mean, if you have multiples, you have to mention what would probably happen.
I guess.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
And they had
foreshadowing
the whole thing
to
with like the
real
guy
life
who's like
things in this
the
movie. Yeah,
murderer, and there's three of them. There's like a throuple.
yeah. It's there's a lot of foreshadowing to things in real life in this movie. A lot of things that they were basing it off of, but they didn't really lean too hard into it. They stuck to what they wanted the movie to be, and that is, I mean, the writing was weird. The writing is what made this movie weird, but the writing is also what made this movie good.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I,
I really like this movie. Yeah.
yeah. I got a lot. I got a lot of feels in this movie. A lot of like
Mm-hmm.
this movie. I've been thinking about. Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you that off camera. But I it's certainly very introspective and a pretty honestly kind of therapeutic experience to sit through this thing. Like, wow, that was a nice experience.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, do you want to record an episode on the monkey? We can do that if you want.
Mm. Up to you. Uh,
Yeah, I want
I don't
to.
know.
I wanna.
Yeah.
I wanna.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I wanna.
Sweet. Let's do it.
I wanna. So next week is the monkey, or it's not. We're just gonna record one right now,
Or
and it'll
not.
come out whenever.
You'll see it. You'll find out.
You'll find it one day.